Today's video of the Hanzi trainer, the app for learning the Chinese image characters with memory phrases, is related to the radical for vertical. This radical is used in quite a few characters, and you will be surprised how easy it becomes to memorize those characters once you know about the memory phrases. Let's get started after the intro. I am now asked for the character for to select, to choose or to pick with the pronunciation
择、摘、
Here in the bottom we have a drawing area where I can draw the character with my finger, and if I do a wrong stroke, the app tells me how to do it correctly. Or I can press the yellow button to get it shown. Then, here in the middle, an explanation field pops up, which gives me information about the components of this character and offers me a memory phrase. Here I am told that this character comprises at the left the radical for hand and at the right the radical for vertical. This radical for hand is a simplification of the standard Chinese character for hand. The right side of this character means vertically, as I already said. The explanation text tells me that this shows a hand that is vertically above the ground. The hand is hardly recognizable. Perhaps it becomes easier when you think about a hand that is reaching to the upper left and the upper corner is the thumb. Below that hand we have a variant of ground or earth. Typically, the character for earth has its vertical line only reaching until the lower horizontal line, but in this case it surpasses it. Let's come now to the combined meaning of this character, which is to select or to choose. It is, with your hand you pose vertically over the desired goods when selecting. So hand and to be vertically above means to select. Perhaps you are not yet fully convinced that it makes sense to understand the right portion as vertical. Therefore, let us look into other characters which use this component. For that purpose, we have at the left of the drawing area the radicals which are used in this character. I click on the radical for vertical and come to a list with all usages of this radical in the characters of the Hanzi trainer, which are in total more than 4,000. The third entry of this list is the character for select, which we just discussed. The first entry of this list has the pronunciation
经、
and stands for longitude, to pass through, to undergo, or the warp of the loom. With a small arrow downwards here, I get more information, and I see that this character is composed by the left component for thread and the right component for vertical we already learned. This character is derived from a loom where the vertical threads are the longitudinals. The memory phrase tells us originally the vertical threads on a loom which resulted in longitude. The second entry in this list has the pronunciation
怪、
and the meaning weird, bewildering. The explanation text tells me that this is a composition of left the character for feeling and right the character for vertical. And the memory phrase for this is feelings so upright are weird. Once again, the combination of feeling and vertical in combination means to be weird. Well, for the first two characters we just discussed, namely for to select and longitude, I'm pretty sure that the explanations are based on the correct etymological background, but in this case the history of the character is different. Nevertheless, I think that the memory phrase is quite good, because it seems to be suitable for memorizing this character. The next entry is the character for easy, light or gentle with the pronunciation
轻、
The explanation tells us that this is a combination of a vehicle and that character for vertical. The character for vehicle is hardly recognizable because it is the simplified Chinese. For understanding this radical, we should look to the traditional way of writing. It shows us that this vehicle is actually a cart seen from above. The vertical line is the axle, in the middle we have the loading area, and the upper and lower horizontal lines are actually the wheels when seen from above. The memory phrase for this character with the meaning easy or light is pulling a vehicle by hand over the flat ground, so which is aligned to the vertical, is easy and light. In the introduction of this video we had the message fun with Hanzi, and indeed it's fun to analyze the characters in this way. The next character has the pronunciation
意
and the meaning to translate or interpret. The explanation tells me that this character is composed by the character for word and this character for vertical. We come to the meaning of this character, which is to translate, with the memory phrase making words vertical is their translation. So word and vertical in combination means to translate. Oh, look here, this character has also a very meaningful memory phrase, which is easy to understand. This character stands for strength, energy, enthusiasm. It is a combination of the radical for vertical and the character for force or power. The memory phrase is related to lifting a load. It tells us the vertical force is full of strength. Please be reminded what you learned in school in physics. So, when an object is lifted, this means it is moved vertically against the direction of the gravity force. Then it receives some energy. This is the elevation or potential energy, and this is exactly what this character is about. Again, the memory phrase, the vertical force is full of strength. Okay, let's continue with the next. This has the pronunciation
则
and the meaning moist, wet or luster. It is composed by the character for water and this character for vertical. The memory phrase is related to a ground that is horizontal, so without any drainage. It tells us the water cannot run off, because the water keeps it when the ground is arranged to the vertical, moist and with luster. I could continue with discussing the characters one by one, but guys, get yourself the app and learn and do it with your own individual speed. For the moment, I want to show another interesting function to you. So you might be interested in learning more about another radical which is used in one of those characters. For example, here in the second entry, we have the radical for weird. When I want to know more about this kind of feelings, it's very easy to get it. I do a double click on that Hanzi character, then I come to a follow-up page with more information about this character, and among this information we have the radicals which are used in this character. I go on the radical for feelings and I come to all characters which are using the radical for feelings. Here in the second line we have some radicals which stand in a certain relation to this radical for feelings. For example, we have here the radical for heart, and with a double click on this heart I come to the follow-up page with all usages of this heart. I strongly recommend to you that you use this training mode, so based on the radicals, because you get a better overview of the systematics. And learning is combining known information with new information. You will know much better about the differences and similarities of the characters, and thereby come to a much better long-term learning success. The app is available for iOS and Android and is also available for Japanese. Then it is called Hanzi Trainer. Please recommend this way of learning the characters, so based on the background and the memory phrases, to your friends who either learn Chinese or Japanese. I wish you much fun and success when learning.